Hello, welcome to the Wall Street Aftermarket Report with Vegas and Jim, Washboard Jim. Hello, Vegas.
Hi, Jim. How's your day today?
Well, you were with me most of the day, and we were just all happy and giggling today, weren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We hit
We
them
had a
right on.
really fun day, a lot of stocks. I'm just going to list the ones we're going to talk about, and then we'll definitely turn it over to you.
Well, this next
Um,
one, we're
mhm.
going to talk about, I'm very impressed in your call.
Yeah, so the first one we're going to talk about today, I'm going to just list the ones. We're going to talk about IGC and Nbev, and then we're going to talk about Ogen, Dtea, Vtvt, and last but not least, Surprise Pop After Hours,
Uh-oh.
MNGA.
Yeah.
So, Jim, why don't you talk about IGC and NBev
Okay,
first?
you want me to start them off right off the bat? Okay.
Sure.
IGC, and let me put Nbev up here. I'm kind of had the feeling today that Nbev was posing a little bit of weakness. And I had a real strong feeling that IGC was pulling real strong, real strong. So we kept our eyes on IGC most of the day. I called the dip. We had a real good sell off. It came down here around 971, and in the room I called, I said this might be a very good entry to get in. And there we go. We hit that thing, man. It ran up real good. We had a double top, and then all of a sudden we had that big sell off. And when I seen that sell off, that's where I'm the master craftsman at. And I caught that thing right there on the bottom of the VWAP line. I alerted the room. I had my supports for extended trend lines ready for it. And so we closed up the end of the day with a real nice strong ending. It ran all the way up and made a triple top at the end of the day. So keep IGC strongly on your watch list. Right now we're pulling back after hours. I'm not holding it right now. I kind of got to where I'm just going to start flipping these stocks because they're up so high and run off the momentum. And if I miss the break, I miss the break. I'll always catch the pullback. Now, Nbev, I'm discovering that they're kind of in debt. They have like $200,000 in their wallet. So I'm thinking it's weak in a way, but yet it's running on speculation. So there's two ingredients in there that don't work too well. So I'm still playing the bounces on it. I'm calling the dips. We had a real good knife on it today. We had a really actually had two. So let's keep both of them on watch. But I'm have more power with IGC right now than I do over Nbev. And Vegas, you want to say anything about them? If not, we can go to the next one.
Well, no, I was just mentioning, I know that IGC earlier in the day, there was the chatter about, Citron was going to look to short the stock.
Yeah.
So there was some drama on the stock because of the Citron chatter. And that's why we saw what happened with the IGC. So, by all means, I don't have a position in that at all, and we'll wait and see what happens. And like you said, I like what you just said. Just looking to see how you can look to scalp it or trade around it. So, that's a great idea.
And a good way to trade around it is adding your 50 and your 200 SMA and playing off them two moving averages
Yes, definitely.
on a daily chart, 1 minute. So next we're going to talk about Ogen, OGEN. This is a stock that Vegas has called out, and she's spotted the volume. So I'm going to let her talk about this baby.
Sure. Okay, so Ogen, if you guys listen to the videos, even on the weekend, I did talk about the stock because I did say that they have a conference. They had a conference on Monday, which was yesterday, and again today. It's investors presentations. I mean, they're not the only ones at these events, but they were obviously presenting at 1 o'clock yesterday, and again today at 1 o'clock, both in the city of lovely New York. And I love New York. Any fans out there from New York, I love your city. Um, but just want to let you know that I had an amazing run today. I mean, this thing ran all over. I mean, it opened, and I'm talking when I talk about the open, I'm talking about market hours. But it did open today at 222. Low of the day went all the way down to 197. And right now it's trading around right now after hours at 340 is the price, and it went as high as 374. So there were so many opportunities to trade this. I mean, we called this even in the room many times, but I mean, I spotted a really good juicy spot around $2.30 late afternoon, way before power hour, but it was around, I don't know, I'm thinking it was around 2:15, and boy, people banked on that one. And I think I even shocked the chartist artist in here, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I
Yeah, you
shocked
did.
him.
And
So,
I,
and
I like
it's
shock
really hard.
treatment.
Yeah, it's really hard to shock Jim. So, definitely for Ogen, I did mention last night, if you watched and listened to my commentary, I did actually say that I was looking for a continuation with Ogen today. And at the time, it was around 189. And so, if you listened to the commentary and were looking at the charts today on your own, you were able to, make a decision if you were going to take the trade, and then you'd be up, definitely over $1.50 today, just from the commentary that was made last night. So if you did make money on this, congratulations, and that's a great trade. And tomorrow, I mean, the support's hanging around here. So, Jim, maybe you can talk about the chart a little more.
This chart. This is one of the easiest stocks to be playing right now, even though that we know it does like to knife, and you always expect a knife out of this sometime in the day. But we've called this out from the get go, and again today I want to show you. I'm just going to take a few minutes and show you a couple patterns, and they're almost the same patterns that I had yesterday. We knew right out of the gate that it was going to break out because it hit that 50 SMA and just jumped on up there. And then we consolidated in a channel. So I was in here flipping this thing for, 9, 6 cents at a time. And then all of a sudden, you see this silver cross right here, and that's where you're starting to get the sell off. So when you see that pattern, when you see that 50-day cross down over the 200, that's when you want to go ahead and sell it. I mean, what the heck? You think it might run, but most days it follows this down, and it went under that 50 SMA and then finally hit that bottom that Vegas was talking about at 197. I had a 196 support on it. It landed right on top of that. So then it bounced up, and then we started getting. I noticed the breakout here, and then I noticed it broke out and almost touched that 200. Then went back down and landed right on that 50-day again. Now this is a 1-minute daily chart, so keep that in mind. And then all the rest of that, after that breakout, we were on this. I mean, it ran all the way up, hit our resistance. And these yellow lines are off my extended trend lines that I've mastered over many years. And so they pull back, and here we go again. Right after hours, if you were watching this stock after hours, you might have got out early or something. You hit that 200 right there again, right after hours. And look at that, bounced right up. So here we're closing. Since we've been talking, we're up about, looks to me like about 12 cents already. So,
Yeah, it's on the move.
yeah, so I'm more bullish than I was yesterday, and I'm more bullish than I was the day before. And Vegas has been bullish strongly on just the news, share rotation over float. That's a big reason why this stock's up. And Vegas one is the master of that. And so let's keep Ogen on the watch list. Let's keep playing it. I'm not taking it off. And next.
No, and I'm not taking it off either. I mean, I actually have a position still on this from my entry yesterday, and also I sold and took profits, but I actually took it again at 230 entry price. So I still kept that position in particular for the overnight, and I want to see what happens. So we'll see.
But this is one you got to be diligent on. You can't turn your head or go out to lunch
No.
and leave this thing running because you could come back and this thing could knife on you.
Yeah,
And
you can't turn your head because you know what? Earlier in the day, I was looking at something else, and then I wasn't looking at Ogen, and then it went from like I think 280s, and then I went all the way down to like the 230s, and I was like, "Holy crap, what just happened?" And then I thought, you know what? They're doing another shakeout again. So I thought, okay, no need to panic. Let's just wait and see. And you know what? it recovered and it went all the way to, where it's at. So, I mean, hey, you know what? If I would have panicked, which thank goodness I didn't, and thank goodness, told others not to panic, they would have been all taking big losses.
Yep.
And they didn't panic. And you know what? They're all green. So we're happy about that. So on to the next stock. Thank you so much for the great chart overview.
Yes.
Want to talk about Vtvt. So stock is DTEA, Canadian company, and I know we've mentioned this in the past as well. The chatter out there, of course, is that they're going to make some sort of cannabis tea beverage or infused beverage. We don't know. Again, all chatter, but you still got to play the chart. You still got to play the action. And you know what? The action on this has just really been amazing. I mean, today it opened at $3 market hours, and today, right now, it's currently trading at $3.60, but it did run as high as 4.35 during market hours. But I did see this gem after hours go as high as I just got to pull up a chart here, but I think it was 453?
Let me pull up the chart. I'm showing the website that you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the chart myself too.
Okay.
465 is the high that I see after hours.
459.
Ooh, 459. Okay. Whoops. Let me
And
see
we're
where it
having a
is.
knife right now as we speak.
Well, there you go.
So here's an
So,
opportunity.
an opportunity for people to get in. I mean, it's down $1 from that high. So, there's going to be, I think, ongoing people buying this and scalping it. I mean, right now the chart's very bearish as we're speaking. So there's a good opportunity to do a knife catch if you are an after hours trader. I'm personally not, so doesn't, not bothering me at the moment. And we'll see what happens with Vtvt. But keep an eye on this one because it does have its moments where it runs up, runs down, runs up, runs down. So just definitely keep an eye on this because even at the price of 340, 342, I'm looking at the tape right now and there is like some serious buying in here.
Yep.
I just saw one guy go in there for 9,900 shares. So, people like the dips,
Let's
and
see.
especially if they have a
I want.
vision that they think it's going to go higher because of what they believe the company might be considering down the road for growth.
I'm getting real close to a support line. As people are watching this video right now, they can see that I might be ready to make me a trade. We got this 311 support right here at around 320. You see it starting to turn green there? There you go, guys.
Yeah, I see
You
it
could
right here, 321.
you're starting to see a little green in the tape. We're going to pull up the level 2. I mean, here's an opportunity right now as we speak. You have the big blocks coming in here at 10, 20,000 shares at a time. We could probably take this up to at least, if I'd say we might see 372. So you're going to have you about a 40-cent flip. First, we take it to 360. And I'm just doing this because it's live action right now.
Yeah, I love it.
And usually I would sit here and talk about the chart, but right now I just want to talk about maybe we have us a little play right here. So,
Yeah, no, it's great. I like it.
yeah. So watching the tape and the level 2. This is way oversold from the run. Let's look at a 5-day chart real fast so I can get a bigger picture. Yeah, so we got a low support right here, right around 311. So I'm going to set me in a support right there, an alert, as we speak, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about another one. All right.
Okay.
So interesting. Yeah, I'm bullish on this stock. This pullback's healthy. We had one, and we called this stock yesterday. It ran up after hours as we were talking. You see how it ran from when we did our video last night from 255 all the way up to 414 when we had that aftermarket early morning pullback, and then it bounced straight up and ran bullish all day today. Now we're
Oh,
having
yeah.
a healthy pullback here. So yeah, this
Definitely.
is sweet.
Very sweet.
I'm glad this
And
happened in front of you all because I can
yeah,
explain a
you got
knife
to witness
catch.
that.
Now
That
we're at
was really good
340. Yeah,
timing.
we're at 340 now. We're 325. We're at 343. I think we can take it up to about 358. That's where that 200 SMA is. Let's see what it does on the 1 minute real fast.
Yep. Well, we're in the 350s right now.
There you go. You can't beat this trade right here, guys. Now we're going to hit 360. See the tape? Look at that tape. It's all green. This is impressive. I'm glad we got to show you this. Now we can get excited about this, but we're getting out all day. So Vegas, you got another one you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about another exciting one. I mean, I just so much action today. So I was looking at I love to study stuff at night. I mean, a lot of you may not know me for now, but you'll get to know me as I talk to you guys more through the YouTube. Um, is that I love researching things at night, and I love checking, reading about companies. And one of the ones that I saw last night was I was looking at Vtvt, and then I thought, let me look a little more at this company. And then I noticed, oh my gosh, there's been a huge insider buying here. So I wrote it down and I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to look at this tomorrow, and I gotta see if if this is going to be an opportunity to trade the stock. So there was an opportunity this morning, called this around 97 cents. I'm sure there's people that got in way before 97 cents, but that was kind of where it caught my attention. And that's kind of where I really liked the spot to get into the trade. So that was this morning at 97 cents, pretty much shortly after the open. And let me tell you that stock where it is right now. That high of day on the stock went all the way to 237.
Yeah.
But right now, even after hours, it's holding. This stock actually even pulled back because people took profits, and I recalled the stock again at 177. And some people gave up on it and said, well, there's no volume, it's not going to break the 205. And then I thought, no, wait, I'm looking at that tape and it's going to break. It may not break before the market's over, but you know what? I'm going to swing trade my position. So I'm swinging from the 177 round two that I took, because I sold my shares at at the high from the entry of 97. So congratulations to those people that did trade this today. And if you're swing trading it, I'm still liking the way it looks right now. And unless Jim would like to add some information on the chart.
Yeah, me and Vegas talk in a chat room about 8 hours a day, so you can hear us live talk about these trades. Well, this right here is, I have what you call an extended trend line pattern that I've mastered over years, and these red lines are from last year. Now I can take these red lines that I used from last year and use them as of today as still support and resistance. And these yellow ones are the new ones that I've added throughout the run, where I can catch the pullbacks or get out the breakouts. And you notice I still have my 50 and my 200 day. I like to keep it simple. I like to make it easy. And we've hovered on that 200 day I'm at 50 day all day long, and here we are after hours. Touched that 200 day SMA for a buy entry, and it bounced on up from 183 all the way up to 237. So Vegas, this was a very good call by you. You noticed it last night before the breakout, and I want to give you kudos. And then I'm going to give her kudos to another stock that this woman or this lady has held for a long time.
Oh yeah.
She's
Well,
done her
before we go on to the
research.
next one, I just got to tell you that bingo on your DTEA, it tapped 362 right now
Are
on
you serious?
JBT. No, I'm serious. I'm watching this live. So
I'm
whatever
going
you
to pull it
call
back
that.
and let the crowd look at it real fast.
Yeah, look at that. Show them.
It's at 340 now. So yeah, it bounced all the way up to 360. There would have been your flip for 30 some cents. So yeah, you catch these knives, you have patience and wait for them to come down to your support levels. You know,
Yeah, I
I
didn't want to interrupt when you were talking, but it did hit your
target.
number.
Yep, it hit,
Yeah,
sure
it did.
did. Hit called 360 bingo.
There you
Okay.
go. Okay. And last one is MNGA, the stock that everyone loves to hate, especially on social media. A lot of bashing on MNGA. And I got to tell you, I've held through the stock, and I'm holding a bag. But let me tell you, I'm not holding a bag anymore. Um, at least for now. I mean, who knows what tomorrow morning is going to bring. But can I just tell you, so MNGA, that stock definitely has to try to regain compliance as well, because if they don't, they have to hit that dollar eventually. If they don't, they're going to probably have to apply for some sort of extension come November. and then they'll be granted the extension, because they'll obviously have to explain why and what their plans are to regain compliance. So they're going to grant regain compliance if they were to even go that route, and that means they would be listed on here till at least November. I'm sorry, until May 2019. So I remember I had been on the conference calls and I talked to the CFO and I questioned him and I said, what's going on with the company? Because I'm concerned about a reverse split. And he basically said to me that that was not part of the plan, that they weren't going to do a reverse split at this time, and that they didn't need to, and felt that by having this investor, they did have an investor, and I have to go back to my notes, but they did have someone that did give them some capital, several $1 million, and in exchange, they got shares for 15 cents. And if you guys remember, the stock pulled back and went to like, I think 14 even. So whoever this person is that gave them that money and they got shares for 15 cents, which was the equivalent of the money that the person gave them, that person just doubled their investment. So good for them, but really good for shareholders here, because I know so many people that have bags on this and that even messaged me today and said, oh my God, what's happening with MNGA? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. They just had news yesterday, that they're changing their name, they're doing a rebranding. They are also looking to do partnerships in Europe. And maybe there's something that is going to be PR'd. I don't know. Nobody knows. We're all making guesses. So if you do notice, though, I will say this: the volume surge on this stock today was insane, because this stock on average doesn't have this kind of volume. I think on average it's about 3 million, and it's had 70.34 million so far today. So what is going on? We don't know. I don't think anybody really knows right now, but we don't care. We're happy that it's gone up, and we're happy to see that people that have been bag holding this, or that had to average down because they were in significant losses, they're making money. I got to tell you a quick story. I know one gentleman who had MNGA. I think I forget what price, but he had to average down. He was very frustrated. He averaged down at the last time when they had that investor that gave him the money and the stock went down to 14 cents. He ended up taking advantage and averaging down. And he said to me today, he said, "Did you see what just happened?" And I go, "Stop complaining," because he was all upset about his trade, but he didn't want to take the loss. And I said, "You complain because you don't want to take the loss, but then you average down. But you see, in the end, it worked out for him, and I'm happy for him." So I said to him, tomorrow, if this continues and this runs, you're actually more than 100%, because his average, he told me, was 18 cents.
No.
So it's pretty much 100% of where it's trading at right this minute. So, and he's got a decent position. So I told him, you're going to have to make a decision. And he's like, do you think it's going to go higher? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, we can't always know these things, right? I think the company, from listening to the PRs, they've stated that they have over $1 million of cash in the bank, and that they did have also debts that they have paid off. They did verbally say that in the conference call. I did, because I was on the call and I did listen. And so I think the company is shaping up. So, you know what? Who knows what's happening? There's a reason for this major surge today after hours. And I think as a result of this, you guys should also be watching HUSA, which could be a sympathy play. But I'm going to let Jim talk about the MNGA chart before we wrap up this Wall Street update.
What I've been watching this thing for months and I never played it. But I'm going to show you something here. Last week, and when it had its drama, let me put up a 20-day chart. I started calling this sell-off here. I said, Vegas I knew was in it. So I was telling her, I'm getting ready to get in this thing. It's starting to come down to my price level. And then all of a sudden one day, come in first thing in the morning, it dipped down to 13 cents. So I started seeing this pattern of it bouncing up a couple pennies a day and pulling back, bouncing up, pulling back, bouncing up. Then I seen this breakout last week, and I said, Vegas, something's up here. And finally, it came back down to that support level again, right down there at 14 cents I had on this trend line on this bottom, flat bottom. So I yelled out for a whole week and a half, 2 weeks about the bottom play on this stock. I did not believe, I had targets at 20 cents right up around in here. So look at this breakout right now. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And if I was that boy at 18 cents, I'd have been out of this thing by now. But that's the way I trade. That's something that I've got to work on, is trying to have a little bit more patience and holding on to my trades longer, which I've hanging with Vegas has given me that opportunity. And so basically, I appreciate everybody out there, and I want to let Vegas do the closing arguments. And
We're not fighting today. Sometimes you guys don't know, but me and Jim fight sometimes during the day about charts and this different things. So it's quite comical. But anyhow, so we just want to thank everyone for watching this video. Appreciate the comments, appreciate the feedback. If you guys have questions on a specific chart that you'd like us to talk about in a Wall Street update, please message below. Please subscribe. And we'd love to hear from you guys. At the end of the day, we do the commentary, not because we need it. We do it for the viewers. And we really want to help the trading community. That's our mission. That's our passion. We love stocks so much. And this is why we're doing this. So on that note, we thank everyone for joining us today, listening to us, and trade green tomorrow. And we'd love to connect with you again. Good night, everyone. Study your charts, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And good night from Miss Vegas, and good night from
Washboard Jim. And keep it fresh, and keep it simple, and keep it enjoyable. And we wish you all the best. I love stocks.